My boyfriend's ex DM'd me. He settled for you. He'll be back. I showed him the message. He smirked. Well, she does know me better than you. I said, Great, then go back. He left with attitude. But an hour later, the police knocked on my door asking for him, and the reason they gave made even me sit down. I'm Naomi Whitmore, 35. And 2 days ago, I thought I was dealing with standard ex-boyfriend drama. Then police showed up at my apartment asking about my boyfriend's whereabouts because his ex had just filed a restraining order against him, and the documentation she provided revealed a pattern of behavior I'd never suspected. I'd been dating Paul Martinez for about 7 months. We met through a mutual friend at a birthday party, hit it off, started seeing each other regularly. He was 32, worked in marketing, seemed normal, funny, smart, a good conversationalist. The relationship moved at a reasonable pace. No major red flags initially, but about 3 months in, I started noticing little things. Paul would bring up his ex, Marina Rivera, more than seemed normal. Not in a I miss her way, more in a let me tell you another story about Marina way. He'd reference inside jokes they had, places they'd been together, things she'd said that were funny or meaningful, always framed as past tense, always accompanied by some comment about how he was so over her, but the frequency was notable. I didn't make a big deal about it. Everyone has a past. Everyone processes breakups differently, as long as he wasn't actively pursuing her. I figured the mentions would fade over time as our relationship developed. Then 2 weeks ago, I got a DM on Instagram from Marina. Her profile was public, typical gym bro aesthetic, despite being a woman. Lots of workout posts and motivational quotes. The message was short. She settled for you. She'll be back. I screenshotted immediately and showed Paul that night. We were at his apartment having dinner when I pulled it up on my phone. Your ex sent me this. He took my phone, read the message, and actually smirked. Classic Marina. That's your reaction? She's just trying to mess with you. She does this with everyone I date. Everyone you date? How many people has she done this to? I don't know, like 3, 4. She can't handle that I moved on. Paul, that's stalking behavior. That's not normal. It's Marina being Marina. She's dramatic. Just ignore her. I'm not ignoring her. I'm blocking her. And you should do the same if she's harassing your partners. He handed my phone back. She's not harassing anyone. She does know me really well, better than anyone. Sometimes that means she can see things other people can't see. I stared at him. What does that mean? It means we had history, real history. She knows me in ways you don't yet. So her message has some truth to it? You settled for me? He rolled his eyes. Don't be dramatic. I'm just saying Marina and I had something real. We understand each other. That doesn't mean I'm going back to her, but I'm not going to pretend our relationship didn't matter. She just messaged your current girlfriend saying you'll be back with her. That's not reminiscing about past history. That's her believing you're going to leave me for her. Well, she does know me better than you. The way he said it, casual, like it was obvious, hit me wrong. Then go back to her. Excuse me? If Marina knows you so well, if your connection was so real, if I'm just a settling option until you figure out what you actually want, then go back to her. I'm not interested in being someone's placeholder. You're overreacting. I'm really not. You just basically admitted that your ex's assessment of our relationship has merit, that she understands you better than I do. That's not something you say about a current partner unless you're 1 foot out the door already. I didn't say. You literally said she does know me better than you, in response to her saying you settled for me. That's not a defense of our relationship. That's you agreeing with her. He stood up, grabbed his jacket. You know what? I don't need this. I'm going home. Great idea. He left, slammed the door. I heard his car start and drive away. I sat there finishing my dinner, annoyed but also relieved. If he was more invested in his connection with his ex than with me, better to know now. About an hour later, around 8:30 p.m., there was a knock at my door. I figured Paul had come back to either apologize or fight more. I opened it to find 2 police officers. Evening, ma'am. Are you Naomi Whitmore? Yes. We're looking for Paul Martinez. Is he here? No, he left about an hour ago. Why? The older officer, a woman probably in her 40s, pulled out a notepad. Marina Rivera filed a restraining order against Mr. Martinez this afternoon. It was granted. We need to serve him with the paperwork and ensure he understands the terms. I just stood there. A restraining order against Paul? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Rivera provided documentation of sustained harassment over the past 8 months. Are you in a relationship with Mr. Martinez? I am, was. I don't know. We just had a fight. May we come in? I let them inside. We sat in my living room, and the female officer explained while the other officer took notes. Ms. Rivera has been documenting Mr. Martinez's contact with her since January, over 300 text messages, most of which she never responded to, approximately 50 phone calls, most going to voicemail. Multiple instances of him showing up at her workplace and her home. 3 documented cases of him following her to locations and confronting her in public places. I felt like the floor had dropped out. Paul's been stalking Marina? That's the allegation, yes. And based on the documentation she provided, the judge agreed there was sufficient evidence to grant a temporary restraining order. Has Mr. Martinez exhibited any concerning behavior toward you? No. I mean, he talks about her a lot, but I thought he was over her. I thought she was the one who couldn't let go. The officers exchanged a look. Ms. Rivera indicated that Mr. Martinez has told multiple partners that she's been contacting him, that she wants him back. According to her, she's had no voluntary contact with him since their breakup 14 months ago. Every interaction has been initiated by him. The DM she sent me tonight, I said. What DM? I pulled up my phone and showed them Marina's message. The officer read it, and her expression changed. Ms. Whitmore, this message wasn't sent from Marina Rivera. Check the account username carefully. I looked. The account was at Marina_Rivera_fit23. Marina's actual account, which I'd clicked through to when I first got the message, was at Marina_Rivera_fitit. The account that messaged me was fake, I said slowly. That would be consistent with the pattern Ms. Rivera described. Mr. Martinez has allegedly created multiple fake accounts to contact her, to message her friends, to manufacture situations that make it appear she's pursuing him when she's not. I sat down hard. He's been doing this the whole time. Did Mr. Martinez ever ask you to confront Mrs. Rivera or contact her on his behalf? The officer asked. No, I blocked what I thought was her account, but now I'm realizing every story Paul told me about Marina reaching out, about her showing up places, about her not being able to move on. None of that was real. He was making it up. We can't speak to specific incidents, Bomo, the officer said, but based on Ms. Rivera's documentation, she hasn't initiated any contact. We need to locate Mr. Martinez to serve this order. Do you know where he might be? Probably his apartment. I can give you the address. I gave them Paul's address. They thanked me, handed me a case number, and told me to contact them if Paul tried to involve me in any further contact with Marina. Then they left. I sat there for probably an hour, trying to process everything. Then I did something I probably shouldn't have. I reached out to Marina through her real Instagram account. This is Paul's girlfriend, Naomi. Police were just here. I'm sorry, I didn't know what he was doing. The account that messaged me wasn't actually you, she responded within minutes. I figured he was setting something up. He does this with every woman he dates. Manufactures drama with me to keep himself in the victim role. I've been trying to get away from him for over a year. We ended up talking for about an hour. She told me everything. How Paul had been the one to break up with her initially, saying he needed space and wasn't ready for commitment. Then a week later, he was dating someone new. Then he started contacting Marina constantly, crying about his mistake, saying he wanted her back. When she refused, he started showing up places, creating fake emergencies to get her to respond, telling new girlfriends that Marina was harassing him, manufacturing situations to make himself look like the pursued party instead of the pursuer. He did the same thing with the woman before you, Marina told me. Messaged her from a fake account pretending to be me, then showed her the messages to prove I was stalking him. She almost came to my gym to confront me before I showed her proof it wasn't my account. Why didn't you get a restraining order sooner? I asked. I kept hoping he'd stop, that he'd move on for real. I didn't want to escalate things legally. But then he showed up at my mom's house last week, told her we were getting back together. My mom believed him until I showed her months of messages I'd never responded to. That was the final straw. I got a lawyer and filed. Update 1. Paul tried to call me 17 times that night. I didn't answer. He left voicemails that progressed from confused, "Why are the police looking for me?" to angry, "You sent cops to my house," to manipulative, "I just wanted to protect what we have. Marina was really harassing me." I blocked his number. Then I checked the fake Marina account that had messaged me. It was deleted. Paul had removed the evidence. The next morning, Marina sent me a copy of the restraining order documentation. It was extensive, page after page of screenshots, dates, times, locations. Paul had been texting Marina multiple times a day for months, following her to her gym, her work, her friends' houses, creating fake social media accounts to contact her when she blocked his real ones, even creating fake accounts impersonating her to manufacture drama with his new partners. There were screenshots of messages to me that I'd never received, sent from another fake account Marina didn't control. Messages where Marina said horrible things about me, about Paul, making it look like she was obsessed with him. Paul had probably planned to show me those later, escalate the perceived threat. He's done this with every girlfriend since me, Marina explained over text. Creates this narrative where I'm the obsessed ex who won't leave him alone. Meanwhile, he's the one who won't accept that we're done. I felt sick. I'd almost believed him. Almost bought the story that Marina was the problem. Update 2. Paul showed up at my apartment 2 days later. I didn't let him in. We need to talk, he said through the door. We don't. The police told me everything. I talked to Marina. I know what you've been doing. She's lying. She has a restraining order with pages of documentation, screenshots, witnesses. You've been stalking her for over a year while telling everyone she's stalking you. That's not what happened. You created a fake account to message me pretending to be her. I checked. The account that sent me that DM wasn't her real account. You made it. You sent that message to yourself so you could show me and manufacture drama. Silence. Paul, you need help. Professional help. What you're doing isn't normal. I don't care what you wanted. You manipulated me. You're violating Marina's restraining order right now by trying to get me to contact her on your behalf. You need to leave. Naomi, please. Leave now or I'm calling the police. He left. I watched through the peephole as he stood in the hallway for another minute, then finally walked away. Update 3. It's been 3 weeks. Paul violated the restraining order twice. Once by showing up at Marina's gym. Once by having a friend call her to pass along a message. He's now facing potential criminal charges. I learned from mutual friends that this pattern goes back further than Marina. Paul had previous exes who dealt with similar behavior. The friend who introduced us apparently didn't know the extent of it, thought Paul had just been a bit clingy in past relationships. Marina and I stay in occasional contact. Not friends exactly, but we have this weird bond of being Paul's victims. She apologized for the disruption to my life. I told her I was glad I found out when I did, rather than months or years deeper into the relationship. I'm seeing a therapist now, working through trust issues. How did I miss the signs? Were there signs? Should I have known earlier? My therapist says people like Paul are skilled at manipulation, at creating believable narratives, that I shouldn't blame myself for believing someone I cared about. But I do blame myself a little. The constant mentions of Marina should have been a bigger red flag. The way he framed everything to make himself the victim should have registered. I wanted to believe him, so I did. Final update. It's been 2 months. Paul has been charged with stalking and harassment. He's facing trial. Marina is the primary complainant, but the prosecutor contacted me as a potential witness since I'd also been manipulated as part of his pattern. I haven't seen Paul since that day at my door. Mutual friends tell me he's bounced between claiming he's the victim and admitting he made mistakes, but insisting they were motivated by love. He tried to contact me through a new social media account last week. I showed the police. They added it to his file. I'm dating again. Slowly, carefully, more aware of red flags, less willing to accept behavior that doesn't sit right just because someone has a plausible explanation. Marina is doing well. She's in a new relationship with someone Paul hasn't found out about yet. She's keeping it private deliberately, hoping he'll eventually lose interest and move on. The mutual friend who introduced us apologized profusely, said she'd had no idea how bad Paul's issues were, that she'd only heard his side of the story with previous exes. She's cut off contact with him entirely. I learned a lot from this, about trusting but verifying. About how someone can seem completely normal while engaging in seriously disturbed behavior behind the scenes. About how easy it is to manipulate people by playing the victim. My boyfriend's ex DM'd me saying she'd settled for me and would be back. Turned out my boyfriend sent that message to himself, manufactured the drama, and used it to maintain his narrative that Marina was obsessed with him while he was the one who couldn't let go. I'm Naomi Whitmore, 35, single again. Learning that sometimes the person claiming to be stalked is actually the stalker. That sometimes the crazy ex isn't actually crazy. They're just trying to get away from someone who won't leave them alone. Paul created an entire fiction about Marina's behavior to justify his own. I almost believed it, almost became part of his manipulation. The only reason I didn't was because Marina finally fought back with legal action that forced the truth into the light. That's all there is to.